What's up, everybody? My name is Jake Savage. I am the owner of Ace Business Professionals LLC. We do bookkeeping, taxes, and specialize in business consulting. And I'm here to tell you guys a little bit about the Business Model Canvas. It's a great tool. I used it myself when I was actually starting Ace Business Professionals. Fairly simple whiteboard methodology where you get to brainstorm through the use of 9 key elements that'll really help you to define and understand whether or not your business should be a business. First and foremost, you need to identify your customer segment. You need to figure out the problem that people out there in the community have. Who are your customers? What are their problems? And once you've identified their problem, you're going to figure out what your value proposition is, or what your solution genuinely is to your customers' problems. Once you've determined what your value proposition is and what your customer segment are, you need to go and identify what your potential revenue streams are, or how many different ways you can make money solving your customers' problems. This is going to help you understand whether or not you actually have a minimum viable product or a problem solution fit that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense to this point, maybe you need to go back and readdress the problem or readdress your solution. Potentially you've got the right solution but the wrong problem, or maybe you've got the right problem that you want to solve but your solution just doesn't quite fit. Most importantly, you need to make sure it makes money. You need to figure out how many different ways can I support myself and sustain myself in a business solving my customers' problems. If those 3 things don't make sense, I wouldn't move on to the next point. But if those make sense and you feel as though you're ready to move on, you've got a minimum viable product, the next step would be identifying what channels you've got or how you're going to actually reach your customers. Are you going to send them mail? Are you going to go in the community and network? Are you going to be on Facebook, LinkedIn, any various members of several different organizations? Or are you just going to run by word of mouth and hope that your friends do this, that, and the other? How are you actually going to access your customers? What are you going to do to reach them? Once you've identified how you're going to get in touch with your customers and how you're going to reach them and you've established your channels, you need to define what your customer relationships are actually going to be. What are you going to do once you have customers to retain them? It's all fine and dandy to be able to reach out and touch a customer, but once you've got a good customer, if you're not maintaining that relationship and continuing to foster that and develop that going forward, they're not going to be a customer for very long. So you really need to figure out what your customer relationships look like and how you're going to interact with them. Once I've got how my customers work and how I touch my customers, I need to do an internal inventory and start figuring out a few key items. I need to figure out what my key activities are, what exactly the company does to make money. I'm going to specifically identify products and services that I can put on a menu to be able to put in front of somebody and say, here's what I do. Here's how much it's going to cost you, the customer. Once I've kind of figured that out, I'm going to determine what key resources I have right now, what I've got at my disposal, what I actually have here and now to be able to do this. I need to think about what I've got, what I'm capable of, what I can do with my time, my talents to be able to execute and complete what it is that the customers need to solve their problem. Once I've figured out what I've got, I understand I'm going to be lacking in a few components, so I need to figure out who else I need to bring in to really make this successful. So I'm going to go and identify my key partners, or who it is that I'm trying to work with to be successful. And once you've got that picture and you've got those 8 bullet points kind of figured out, it's going to lead you down this road where you've been asking the question the entire time, well, how much? And this is the last component. And why it needs to be the last component is the cost structure. Once you've figured out, does my product work? Is my problem solution fit valid? Can I get to customers? Can I keep my customers? Can I actually do this with what I know how to do and who I know and who I've hired? You put it all together and determine your cost structure. And honestly, it's one of the things that I do very well. I like to take your ideas, put them all together to paper from your business model canvas and help you develop a more traditional business plan or a comprehensive document that provides all the details and information about the business goals, strategies, market analysis, and financial projections, along with an operations plan to move forward on.